what inspired you to leave that lavish life behind and start and struggle to make your own enterprise? And why do you chose to focus on AI only?
Jobs and careers will die, work will exist.
Do you still believe that in this era, traditional management roles can survive, or traditional management roles are valid?
But very soon we may realize that, man, this is just not life. We should just get rid of it. I want to know English. AI is as much as English for me. If you say that you know English, you better know AI.
So today we have one of the LinkedIn's top voices with us, the founder and CEO of AIDOS, who is not just into AI but is trying to solve a very amazing problem for businesses out there and enterprises, which we will be discussing ahead in this conversation. I welcome Mr. Krishna Varthan Reddy to the AIBros Show. How are you doing, Krishna?
Thank you, Mohammed. I am doing great, and thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Excited to pass on what I've learned, what I've seen, and
Mhm.
see how it helps the next gen, your gen.
Definitely, definitely. I'm actually more interested into your journey at IIM Bangalore and ISB Hyderabad, because I am personally very interested with those institutes, and keep I hold that interest into management as well. So in the further discussions, if there are any questions related to IIM Bangalore's and ISB Hyderabad, you just know that I am asking that out of curiosity. So let's start with your journey itself. Um, could you walk us all through all your key phases from your time in engineering through your job experiences, then your time when you were at IIM Bangalore and ISB, and now leading up to founding AIDOS?
Sure. So we call it IDOS, though
Okay.
AIDOS is what many people call it as. So
Okay.
I joined engineering in 1995. Okay, way
Mm-hmm.
back when getting an engineering seat was in itself was an achievement. And in
Right.
fact, when I got an engineering seat, I got my MSET rank. I mean, different states in our country have different
Mm-hmm.
entrance exams to
Right.
get a seat in engineering and medicine, right? It was celebrated well, and it was known all over my town, a small town. It was that famous news. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and where I studied my plus two, they kind of published my photo almost on a daily basis as an achiever. So back in those days, getting a seat was as an achievement, like I said, and I chose computer science just by chance. I did not have
Mm-hmm.
any uh, passion, nor did I even touch a computer until I got into
Mm-hmm.
computer engineering. Okay, back
Mm-hmm.
in those days, nobody owned a laptop or a desktop. Very few people might have. Uh, we never did. So, and while still CSC was the top branch, means all the top
Mm-hmm.
ranked students were getting into CSC. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
by then CSC was already gained popularity, but not many people knew what exactly computer science engineering was, including me. Okay, and during the journey, the turning point for Indian IT industry happened during when I was in the engineering. The Y2K was a turning point.
Mm-hmm.
The year convert moving from two digit to a four digit, right? Otherwise, 99
Mm-hmm.
would have been 00 when we moved to 2000. So
Mm-hmm.
that created a huge opportunity for Indian IT industry and was a turning point. That's when Infosys, TCS, Wipros of the world actually started growing. And then CSC really started gaining momentum in India. Every engineering student wanted to pursue CSC or get into a software engineering job. In spite of studying mechanical, civil doesn't matter. Okay. So when I quit my engineering and I had a different aspiration of getting into civil services, I did try for a few months and realized that was not my cup of tea. Giving multiple attempts and each attempt takes a year or two, and then committing for 5 6 years to was not. I was not that studious person. I'm a doer. Okay. So I picked up those days in 99 and 2000. Luckily for us, was a Java and e-commerce uh, momentum was going. And if you go and shout Java in the street, and if there is a company that can hear you, they would grab that kind of if you know Java, right? So I got my first job in Hexaware in 2000 in Chennai, and then within a few months, dot-com bubble burst happened. Just 4 5 months after I joined the job, dot-com bubble bursted in the US, and jobs. I mean, there were layoffs all over. And then that was followed by 9/11 attacks in the US. So that kind of was there for 2.5 years. So we were very very lucky. And during this phase, I got H1B from a different route, but we didn't take that risk. Okay, we stayed back in the job, and then after that, I never pursued going to US. Though I had H1B, I could have gone. I didn't. Probably in the moment that I had to, I could not because of those dot-com and 9/11, right? And then from there, entrepreneurship has been my passion. It took 20 years for me to quit job and pursue full-time entrepreneurship, but entrepreneurship had been my passion for 20 plus years since my job one, Hexaver Chennai days. So I kept going from job to job. I mean, not many, 5 6 in the whole 20 22 years. Went to HP in Bangalore, and then went to Dell Hyderabad. So Hexaware kind of laid very good foundation for us in those days, services companies, right? I mean, I learned a lot, and then kept applying those learnings. And Dell Hyderabad was another turning point because Dell taught a lot of things to the industry as well as to the people who were joining, right? It kind of revolutionized the entire supply chain. It introduced new concepts called build to order, direct supply chain, direct to selling, all that, right? So that also sparked a lot of ideas in me to pursue entrepreneurship, and I did a few ideas on the side, but I could, for many reasons, take full time into that one. So that's when I thought I should take a break, and came to Bangalore to work for WPP, where I was the head of IT for the entire WPP IT India. And then 42 Hertz, uh, I was customer for 42 Hertz from WPP. So the 42 Hertz was a partner for us. Then I got to know the CEO, and then we became friends, and I joined 42 Hertz as a VP of engineering, right? So because we wanted to build some ideas, and that's where IDOS idea was born in one of the interactions at one of the customer places. I'll elaborate detail. And then I should have taken either, I had two choices, either quit 42 Hertz and pursue that full time. I spoke to my CEO. He was not very keen on deviating from 42 Hertz uh, vision, right? And this idea. So I thought, okay, I need some more time to, set my finances right. My kids were about to get into, higher studies, all that. So I went back to Dell Bangalore this time. Okay, I spent more time on the idea, gave it a more thought and structure, right? And then eventually in 2021, I had quit, and then we launched this in 22, and here we are. Yeah. And during Dell Bangalore days, doing an MBA was always my passion. Okay, I wanted to do a full-time MBA. I could not, because I realized that if you build one company end to end successfully, it will be equivalent to build doing 1,000 MBAs. Okay,
Okay.
because MBA still is a theory.
Right.
Building a business is actually doing things, right? I no by no means I'm demeaning MBA, right? I still want to do.
Definitely.
I realize that I cannot afford from a time perspective. Instead, I would go rather build a business. Okay, and so I did these small intermittent courses, two at IIM and B and ISB. The what I wanted to learn in change management, organization leadership, so that will help me uh, in building a business. And Dell encourages, in fact, they sponsor, especially for the leaders to go and pursue those. Right. So yeah, I'll explain even more about what I think about IIMs, not only IIMs, our education system and education system in the US, because my kid is doing undergrad in US. Okay, I went there while I traveled to US many times. I did go there to while he was joining the college and first
Hmm.
week, and I clearly saw the difference between what their education system versus what we have. There is a change right now that is happening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had introduced. I'll explain what that is. But this is in a gist what my journey has been, Mohammed.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. So we have so many points right now to discuss. We'll go to the points one by one. So I suppose let's start with IDOS. What exactly, as a company, IDOS is, and as you told that when you were at 42 Hertz, you got the concept of IDOS.
Yeah,
So what exactly as a company IDOS is, and how did you get the idea of it? Can you please explain us?
yeah. So at 42 Hertz, there was one particular customer who is a
Mm-hmm.
very big MNC in hospitality, especially in Asia. Their existing vendor abruptly left, and they were running their accounts, finance, their entire business on Dynamics AX ERP, and we were Dynamics AX ERP service providers partners. They called us in, and we spent like we went there as a leadership team, and previous to that meeting and post that meeting, and where they were explaining that, hey, look, the current vendor left and we need hands, uh, helping hands to fix things, because there were accounts were bleeding, people were helpless, right? And then when they listed these issues, there were let's say there were 10, but there were top three issues that had to be fixed immediately for business as usual, business continuity, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that we did after all the discussions is just deploy the right person on the job. Okay, just
Okay.
we just assigned a senior AX expert from 42 Hertz to that project. That's all we did. Then I spoke to our CEO and, Manoj, what did we do? Is this the right utilization of our time? Can we platformize this concept? If only
Mm-hmm.
the customer could have posted their need on
Mm-hmm.
a platform, okay, and platform figures out who is the right expert and assigns. Expert could access the system and fix things. You and I need not
Okay.
spend this time go there in person. Our side 10, 7, 8 people, their side 7, 8 people, spend 100 hours, while in actuality 50 hours were all needed to fix those top three issues, and we spent
Mm-hmm.
100 hours to assign a person. The person took 50 hours to fix. This is not the right thing, right? I mean, we can fix this. And then similar things happened in the next couple of months. We did implement a dynamic CRM for a healthcare company in the US. There are many 1-800s in the US, 1-800 dentist, 1-800 flowers, 1-800 doctor, whatever. We implemented
Mm-hmm.
CRM for 800dentist.com. Flawless execution, all good. We went live, but 2 weeks after go live, we had memory issues, and then all of us jumped in, but we could not, and we knew the problem was at the product level, but a product expert is the right person to fix it. So we finally brought in Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
himself. They are the product providers. That guy fixed in a couple of hours, and we spent probably a week before that, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
another example, the right person assigned at the right time, you save a lot of time and money. Third
Mm-hmm.
example, our own customer in Jaipur, Mangalam Silks, we upgraded ERP. The upgraded ERP was not in a position to take the work. The previous version was already retired. Customer was helpless, and there were 30 issues sitting, and there was a resource issue. So I hired somebody, asked him to directly report to me in Jaipur. I configured his laptop from Bangalore, went there. That guy looked at issues and fixed everything in 2 days. So that confirmed me in, look, we don't need this whole conventional models of dealing stuff. A platform
Mm-hmm.
can do it a lot better. And after that, I went
Mm-hmm.
back to Dell. In normally a Dell financial year runs from Feb to Jan. The budget is locked by December. So, and we run certain number of projects, and we know the headcount for each team. But however, in the middle of the financial year, if there is a compelling proposition, we get additional budget and we can hire. So budget was
Mm-hmm.
approved. I spoke to a vendor, identified talent, okay, and we were supposed to kick off because it was a compelling proposition. Just the process took 4 months for the people to come in and start the work. By then, year got over and we got into next financial year. There was money, there was a problem to be solved. If solved,
Mm-hmm.
would have generated additional revenue for Dell. There was talent identifier sitting at the fence for them to just get into the building and do the work. The process took four months. I thought, what nonsense! And it again confirmed my thought process of platform notion, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what made me like, let's jump in. And while I was in the final months of Dell, through a previous 42 hertz connections, I got a Microsoft project. They wanted us to evaluate a third party module that they plan to purchase. They normally give it to a partner to evaluate. They don't evaluate, so that they get a neutral opinion about it. So we did that in a couple. It's a just weeks project, but a good
Mm-hmm.
project to evaluate a third party module, whether Microsoft should go ahead purchasing that or not, right? And of course, I was paid, and that gave me confidence that no, I think this. I didn't do it. I hired for the project. Within a day, I hired a Microsoft Dynamics expert who could do, and we did it in 2 weeks and delivered. It confirmed that no, this can be done. There could be 100 or 1,000 such opportunities out there. I should build a platform. So I quit and built a platform which we initially called task as a service, TAS. Then realized that no, tasks are tough. Then we call it project as a service. Okay, so customers, they can post their projects and we just deliver them. It's all outcome based. They pay for the outcome. And then we realized that there are so many things going on. I'll dig deeper into what we call now a virtual delivery center. What a customer gets and what is a virtual delivery center. How is it different from conventional models, and how does it tie to future of work, right? But because all that we have discussed, and we are heading towards the future of model. But this is how IDOS was born. So to give.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, interesting story. So, since you described it so well, let's dig deeper into IDOs, the functioning of IDOs, right? So that we get a clear picture of for all our audiences what IDOs is and what are you trying to convey with the concept of virtual delivery center. So let's target the functioning of IDOs. How does IDOs work? Can you break it down into steps so that each and every one of us can understand it clearly?
Yeah. So before we get to IDOS and VDC, let's
Mm-hmm.
understand that there are so many moving pieces all around
Okay.
us. Okay, the conventional job models, which worked exceptionally well, which are still
Mm-hmm.
working to a larger extent, that is coming to an end. We strongly believe, and everybody agrees. You talk to Naval Ravikant, you talk to Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn founder, you talk to Bill Gates,
Mm-hmm.
says that very soon we will have 2 days work weeks. Okay.
Right.
And Naval Ravikant says everybody will become a micro entrepreneur. Reid Hoffman says the conventional job models are done, which we have been
Mm-hmm.
saying even before I got full time and built this platform. I started writing blogs. We kept saying about remote work even before COVID, even before all this, about jobs will die, careers will die, work will exist. What is a weekend for me could be a weekday for you. I
Right.
may work for 3 months and take a 3 months break. You may work for 6 months and take 1 month break. People will start working as per their wish. Their work life, your work life balance definition could be different from my work life balance, right? You may work 3 years at a stretch and go off take off for 3 years, because there is no job concept, there is no one employer concept. That is slowly coming to an end. We can see the trends all around the globe. Everybody is cutting down and becoming lean, becoming thin. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what we believe that will be the future of work, where the ownership of talent, the old models of having lakhs of employees in house, will come to an end. Every company will become thin. Who are the decision makers, who are the product leaders, and the core team, IP team, rest everything they will give it to the platform. And that is
Mm.
where virtual delivery center comes in. That a company does not need to set up a physical center in every city in every country. We can establish a virtual delivery center, okay, which can scale up and scale down just like cloud of infrastructure scales up and scales down. Just
Mm.
as we had AWS disrupted data centers and brought cloud concept, Salesforce kind of leaders disrupted the conventional software offering and introduced SaaS concept that you can buy even one license for 1 month,
Mm-hmm.
compare buying the entire software forever,
Mm.
perpetual, right?
Mm.
So there are many things which came from a capital intensive to operational model, right? From capex to opex.
Right.
Even talent and work delivery will come to that model. This is, I need 20 people today. Because that's the amount of work. In fact, the number of people itself uh, will not be a subject anymore going
Mm.
forward. It's outcome. This is the outcome I need. You deploy how many you want, and what is the price for the outcome, right? And we establish a virtual delivery center. We identify, we have pre-vetted talent, and we staff the VDC from all over the globe, the pre-vetted talent into a company's VDC, and then we start delivering the project. And the talent
Mm.
works for multiple VDCs. Mohammed could be part of Walmart VDC, Dell VDC, Target VDC, Apple VDC, Google VDC at the same time, not one employer, right? And Google, let's say they have 150,000 employees today. They could
Mm.
probably count to 10,000, 20,000, and they may have a million people in their VDC. Not necessarily million people working at the same time, but they worked at different points in time. But that those are the people who worked for Google at different points in time, and they can pick up the projects and deliver Google for Google.
Mm.
This is what VDC is: flexibility of
Mm.
organizations and talent. And this is what we believe is the shape and structure for future of work. Because future of work is a philosophy,
Mm.
right? What is a shape and structure? Is we think VDC is the shape and structure, right?
Mm.
The freelancing platforms are purely matchmaking platforms. That's why they could not penetrate to enterprise customers so far. There is a gap, and conventional job models are not working. We sit right
Mm.
at the section, offering
Mm.
VDC as the answer for all these things. Yeah.
Mm. Amazing. So you have a pool of talented individuals out there with you, and you have companies who have certain amount of task out here, and you are applying a wall in between, and you are just matching and putting those individuals out to the task for each and every company for which they are actually expert, and where do they actually belong. So that's the whole concept of VDC, if I'm getting it right.
The only caveat is we are not only matchmaking, we
Hmm.
completely own the delivery and
Okay.
execution, unlike
Okay.
freelancing platforms. That is
Okay.
why we say we are the best of the both the worlds. We are the right mix of partner comfort. Any partner that gives, whether they
Mhm.
walk to Wipro, TCS, or McKinsey's, or anybody, we give all the comfort a partner gives, and we give the
Mhm.
scale of the platform and flexibility
Okay.
of the platform. They get best
Okay.
of the both worlds. Yeah,
Okay. Got it. Got it.
yeah.
So tell
The-
me, Krishna. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah. Please go ahead.
it need not be just individual. If
Okay.
Mohammed is having a team of, they came together, friends came together, okay, three
Agency
four,
types.
uh, we call it a team on the platform,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Because let's say you have to develop a mobile app or a web development, it needs a
Mhm.
designer, developer, and let's say a couple of other skills. Three four of you can come together and form a team on our platform. We give all the tools for you to form the team and get into different VDCs and deliver for different customers. All these
Mhm.
through platform. Entire execution capabilities are built on the platform. We did not go to
Mhm.
other Jiras and different tool sets, because all those are built on the platform, so customer can see what is happening. And
Mhm.
teams can operate as a team. I mean, individual, either they can work as an individual or as a team as well.
Mhm. Got it.
uh, Compensating skill sets, and yeah.
Hmm. Nice, nice. So how are you guys shortlisting these talents out here who can work for the respective VDCs? Because this is itself a very big problem out here, because if you don't shortlist the appropriate talent, the VDCs, the quality of work at the VDCs might suffer. So how does this process work?
So, and like you said, right, this is the core of the platform. And we have,
Mm-hmm.
since the launch of platform, we have been onboarding talent, and
Right.
we keep vetting the talent. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
check their background, their work. We talk to them. We deliberately introduced human touch, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we have AI layer, but we deliberately still have that human touch, and uh, we ensure that given the domain, given the technology, and what level of expertise is required for what kind of task, right? And not everything is mentioned in the resume, right? uh,
Mm-hmm.
and how the delivery has been done from this team or from this individual in their career, everything is taken into account, and we keep talking to them on a timely basis as well. And we do
Mm-hmm.
one more touch and evaluation again at the beginning of the project when we assign them.
Okay.
So when a customer signs up, uh, the entire onboarding, establishing a VDC is all done automatically. Our AI engine goes and captures what this company does, what is their background, which domain they are into, what kind of products or services they build, and we onboard the customer and establish a VDC. On the talent side, also we keep doing the same. Okay, every time somebody onboards, signs up, we do a lot of background checks through our AI mechanism. Of course, we have human touch as well. And when we match this talent again using AI, when something kicks off, we do one more round of touch, and then assign, and then execution happens in the platform completely. And
Mm-hmm.
it's all very transparent. Okay, just as you form the team and do the execution on any different platform, all those capabilities are built, communication is built, document sharing is built, financial flow is built, kanban board is built, everything is built. And
Mm-hmm.
we do have AI for onboarding customer, onboarding talent, talent matching for a given project, task identification when a customer gives a problem statement, what are the possible um, uh, tasks that make up this project is also AI driven, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and how big each of the tasks could be, how complex each could be, right? And at every juncture,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we named the platform I Do. That's what I do stand for, with AI at the center.
Okay. Quite innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since we are at the AI talks right now, can you break down the complete science of AI at VDC model, which you were talking right now? As you already told, but can you please elaborate step by step on, let's say, this is the first step executed by AI, then there is the human intervention, then it is being handled by AI, and so on so forth.
No, like I mentioned, right? So customer onboarding is very straightforward, right?
Okay.
After that,
Mm-hmm.
it is what they communicate, what they want to
Okay.
get built using the
Mm-hmm.
platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned, we even have deep integrations built into their project management platform, so they can
Mm-hmm.
choose selectively. Hey, look, these are things my in-house team will do. This I can push to platform, and they directly are pushed. They don't need to come and again author their requirements if they've already authored in their tool set. So we build to
Mm-hmm.
integrations. Then AI will look into the entire talent pool, okay, and
Okay.
identifies. So we kind of mimicked Uber algorithm. What Uber does is, when a ride request comes, they go by physical location and they go by radius. They first try to
Right.
identify at least, let's assume 10 drivers. Let's assume that that is the minimum set they want to identify, who are in the 50-meter radius, let's say. If they don't get 10, they again expand to 100 meters. If they don't, they again expand to 150, 200, 250 meters, so that they identify at least 10, and let's say they notify, thinking that at least one will pick up. That's their data. Their data shows that if you notify 10, at least one will pick up.
Okay.
Similar approach we have. We call it peeling the onion, but from inside out. The Mohammed Kaif, having worked in, let's say, AI voice agents for X number of, built X number of AI voice agents for healthcare domain. He built three,
Mm-hmm.
four in India. Can build, is available, is the right fit for me if I have to build a voice agent for a healthcare US customer. Is the perfect fit. Now, if that we identify, Let's say that's just one, right? But we need two, three more, or four, five more to ensure that at least one will pick up. Then we'll see close
Mhm.
by. We have AI's voice agent builder developers available, but not healthcare. But what is the closest other, right? So that's what we call it, peeling the onion from inside out. Then once
Okay.
we have right number of, then we notify, and they will answer, yes, I'm readily available, I'll pick up, right? Then
Mhm.
I'll add one more angle, and so how is this outcome based? This is still a project, right? So we have defined with the customer what is the outcome customer is looking for and what is the price point, and
Mhm.
we cut, and then we come. Let's say $10,000. Okay, let's say we take a cut of 2K, and we
Okay.
upfront say that, hey, Mohammed, this is 8K. So when they know, oh, this is the AI agent to be built, this is the requirement, this is 1 or 2 months time frame. Yes, I'm ready to pick.
Mhm.
I will deliver, and this is the price point. There is no other hidden charges, and we don't charge
Mhm.
any talent. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
support. There is an assigned delivery manager from platform who is the face for the customer, and this delivery manager with the talent with the customer is a triangle shaped organization formed within the VDC.
Mhm.
And
Interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You were saying something?
No, and the execution happens, and we kick off, and then execution takes off. We have weekly sprints, and then yeah, so on and so forth.
Amazing, amazing. So in this way, there are much possibility of only the right person picking up the right work,
Yes,
and there is no bluff at the talent side, and there is no loss at the client side who are coming to you for the services, right? Yeah,
correct, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Think of it as like Uber doesn't pick a Pune driver for a Bangalore ride request.
Right, right.
That's from a location, whereas same thing applies from us for us from a technology and domain skill set standpoint.
Definitely. It totally goes to the convenience and all the other parameters so that there can be a symbiosis of the client and the service provider itself.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, since all this discussion c- was on the enterprise level businesses right here, can VDCs also help and benefit small and mid-sized businesses scale their project delivery? Is it also applicable to such businesses?
Very good question. In fact, it is for those businesses,
Okay.
not for large enterprises today, because
Okay.
large enterprises do have their deep pockets. They can
Mhm.
afford, they need not, they can have 100,000 employees with only 40-50% productivity, they can still afford. Of course, they're realizing today, and that's why they're cutting off a lot of fat. Okay, but this is more so for small and medium businesses and startups today, and then we
Mhm.
will eventually start serving even large enterprises, because small and medium businesses, look, they cannot afford to have a large team without knowing how much, I mean, what is the right team. I mean, in fact, a lot of organizations don't know what is the right team size. That's why we see
Right.
cycles of over hiring and then undercutting, right? Which we think should be solved once for all. And that's where VDCs come in, because you just have the right team size what you need for your business, and leave the rest to the VDC, right? Is what we are saying. So you never have to overhire or lay off ever again in your life. And
Mhm.
for SMBs, they can't afford to have a physical office, one in Hyderabad, one in Bangalore, of course, even one in India, one in Mexico. What we say is, look, what do you want to do? Do you want to expand to Mexico? We can do that through VDC. We can hire a
Mhm.
Mexican talent if Mexican local talent is required to do certain tasks. But not necessarily we need to have a physical office.
Okay.
Okay, one VDC, we can have a five-member Mexican members, 10 Indians, some US, whatever you want, mix without ever having those 5-6 offices, right?
Mhm.
This is the flexibility SMBs can get. And let's say tomorrow Mohammed has an idea, okay?
Mhm.
Because we are
Mhm.
forcing that we will have one person unicorns in the future. If you have
Definitely.
an idea, come to IDOS, we build it for you. Now you want
Mhm.
to enable sales. Our VDC enables your sales. You want to enable marketing. We do it. You can go and show your org structure VDC to your customer, your investor, get the funding, and then keep building,
Mhm.
keep
Mhm.
marketing, keep distributing. Just one person carrying laptop, walking on the streets. but owns a unicorn is possible.
Strong words. Yeah. So,
So,
as far as, yeah, please go ahead. You were saying something?
no, I'm good.
Okay. So, as far as I can understand, this is not just placing the right talent at the right place, but it is also getting you the right number of talent that you need for that particular task.
Yes.
So you are not over hiring and you're not pushing your budgets to the point that you get all your funds burned. You are
Yes.
just hiring. Let's say you need two people, two right people for the task. You're just hiring two right people and not tens out there who are just applying and you're just trying them out to get the right fit. Hmm.
Yes, and with one caveat. Okay.
Yeah.
We are in the transition phase, Mohammed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We are moving from conventional model to a new model, and you are right, you are spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, let's say a company currently has 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
but in its lifetime had 100 people who came in and left.
Mm-hmm.
And they really liked certain talent in those 100, but it just, because of the conventional model, they had to resign and go. Can they work now back to the company? They can do only by joining back the company.
Right.
They have to join back to work for that project, for that company, but not through VDC. They can still be there wherever they are, can still work for their previous organization because they know the system, they know the company, they know the culture, and on a task basis, and they'll be paid for the outcome, which is possible
Mm-hmm.
through VDC, but not in conventional models. So thereby, companies need not have the fear of, if I lose these two key people, my company is at risk, my project is at risk, is not a problem, is not a risk at all going forward.
Interesting. So, let's say since we were talking about SMBs are so beneficial, sorry, VDC model is very beneficial for SMBs out there. How can an SMB or a company figure out whether they are facing a hiring issue or a delivery issue?
Right.
As you mentioned in your LinkedIn post as well, that many people have delivery issue and not the hiring issue. So, how can they identify that thing?
Hmm. So, good question. These are two different problems, right? If
Okay.
I if a customer identifies that I need a 8-member team for this project, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and taking too long, let's say 3 months, 6 months, 9 months to get the right 8-member team, that's a hiring
Mm-hmm.
problem. What we are saying is we can give it in 2 days. We can identify those 8-member team and form the team for you and start working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in so many a company A is looking for talent, and there are talent sitting idle in company B is one situation. Okay, within the organization, I know because I worked for large organizations in my career, right? Dell, HP, WPP. There is a team sitting idle in one department, the same skill set some other department or some other team is looking for, and they're actually not able to identify or hire, and they want the work to be delivered. This team is sitting idle, the team needs people, but there is a scarcity here and there is abundance here, but things are not going well.
Mm-hmm.
But VDC or through our platform, that's not the case. You need it, we form it for you overnight. You want a 100-member Java team, we can form overnight. No other platform can do it. And not only
Mm-hmm.
form, we are not just identifying or asking you to go and take interviews and you shortlist, you then form. No, we are forming it. A VDC is formed, assigned to write projects, and we have a delivery manager assigned for you, and we start delivering it. You just need to give the problem statement, and then we start delivering. Now, coming to the delivery problem, you form the 8-member team. Okay, you took 2, 3 months or 6 months. You were okay to take that long. You eventually formed, but then you were faltering on the delivery, right?
Mm-hmm.
You did not identify or hire right talent because you were you were desperate to find talent. You somehow found somebody and took, because you were so
Mm-hmm.
desperate you had to kick off. Because
Mm-hmm.
of location barrier, you have to identify talent in Hyderabad, or in Bangalore, or in Pune. You would get only these people given the 6 months time frame. We are saying get rid of all those barriers. That era is over. Your interest is to build this product. We will get it built. Why are you worried about hiring and worrying about are unable to identify right talent and eventually got some mismatched talent only to figure out 3 months later that you are faltering on delivery? It's a delivery problem there.
Mhm.
You did not get the
Mhm.
right person for the right task, which is what we do because we don't have location barrier and they are not our employees. See, if you go to an agency, they keep saying we are the best web development company, we are the best mobile development company, no matter who they are, who they have, right? But in our
Mhm.
platform, everybody is my employee, though they are not my employee, because we get the
Mhm.
right person for the project and deliver it and keep move that person to a different project
Definitely.
because they're not our full time.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying something they were not.
They're not our full. See, we don't need to sell talent, saying that
Okay.
our talent is the best talent. All talent is our talent, and we identify the right one for the right job.
Okay. Right, right. So let's say I hire a team through VDC, right? And I let's say I am trying to build something into finance side, right? And let's say that team is already working for another company who is also building something into finance sector. So are there any chances of the critical data leak or security breaches, because the same team is working for the two finance companies who can be the rivals in the near future? So how does that work?
On the platform, we do not allow. On the
Okay.
platform, we allow a team to work for one customer, one project at a time.
Okay.
Very rarely, there are cases where a project needs part-time allocation. Hence, that specific talent could work for multiple customers. Then we ensure that obviously they don't work for in the same customer segment, so that plus, we have all the mechanisms that a typical partner does in terms of NDAs, in terms of security constraints, right? We get signed talent signs for them. And we are also bringing a notion where we are creating a virtual infrastructure mechanism where a laptop becomes just a dumb machine. Okay, you get into
Mm-hmm.
customers environment and actually work there, not in your
Mm-hmm.
laptop. Right now we are not there yet because customers are okay so far. If there was a Germany customer where we did work in customer environment, but not every
Okay.
customer prefer that. But wherever there are such cases, laptop is just laptop just logging in into customer environment, everything happens in
Mm-hmm.
there. And yeah, and there are
Mm-hmm.
many tools out there which even takes the keystrokes into consideration what a
Okay.
person is doing, right?
Hmm.
They cannot just copy and paste somewhere else and then download or whatever. Everything is taken care of.
Hmm. So you have taken care of each and every aspect of privacy and all the
Exactly.
possibilities of, yeah, security breach. So that actually builds a lot of trust between
Yeah.
the client and the service provider as well. Yeah,
Correct. Correct. Correct.
definitely. So you, since you explained VDC so well for the companies, right? And as far as we can conclude with this conversation that VDCs allows companies to get work done without any hassle or without any stress of hiring with the traditional method and etc etc, finding the right talent for the right for the work. So can you think this approach eventually disrupt the traditional hiring process and interview process out there? And will it bring some impact to the individual job seekers out there?
It will eventually. Okay.
Okay.
We are in the transition period. It will eventually, but
Mm-hmm.
when we get there, it will become the norm. People will
Mm-hmm.
stop looking for jobs. People will start looking for work. Okay, and they'll be paid for the work delivered, not
Mm-hmm.
because they run the roles, they get a monthly paycheck. No, that era is over. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why we say jobs and careers will die, work will exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
Mohammed probably can deliver 10 story points in a day. I probably can deliver only 3 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because we both are in the same pay band today, we both are almost paid the same. Just
Mm-hmm.
once I do my interview well, and if I'm able to sustain in the job, as long as we both people in the same pay band almost are paid the same, in irrespective of their delivery. Of course, there are yearly appraisals and all. I may get less increment and the other person may get more increment. That's there ends the story. That era is over.
Mm.
That era is over. Okay, it will be
Mm.
purely based on the delivery. If I am
Mm.
given this, if I deliver this, I get paid. Otherwise, there is no pay.
Hmm. Interesting. So, what is your experience with the companies? Are companies adaptive towards the VDC concept, or are they still opting for the traditional job pattern out there?
We are in this transition period. It's extremely
Mm-hmm.
difficult for everybody to comprehend this. While
Mm-hmm.
everybody I speak to agrees that yes, this is the way forward, but it
Mm-hmm.
takes time. We are getting there. We will get there. That's why when Naval Ravikant and though they say that everybody will become a micro entrepreneur, it is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
As an entrepreneur, you are paid for what you deliver to your customer, not because you are part of that company, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's what will happen eventually. It will take time, but we are getting there. So
Hmm.
customers today, while they appreciate, we are in the mix mode, hybrid mode. I give the project and you tell me what is the pay or what is the cost and stuff, right? And you deploy how many more people. In fact, we are working for a customer now who doesn't even is interested. He's not interested in how many people we have. Yeah. So
Okay.
you
Mm-hmm.
six or it's up to you. This is what I need on an ongoing basis. Right. So yeah, so we are getting there. People are realizing this is the way the world will work going forward. Even talent will work. Look,
Hmm.
in our father generation, they took a job and retired pretty much in that job. In our
Hmm.
generation, we kind of moved around jobs. Okay,
Hmm.
five, six
Hmm.
percent jobs in the entire career. Next gen will not be like that. They for them it is project basis. I worked in this project. I worked in this project. Not for this company 4 years and all. When we discuss my career, we talked about companies and how long I worked for each company. That's gone. That's gone. I may work for 100 companies in my career because I work for the project and they deliver the outcome.
Hmm.
And I may work for five companies at the same time. No more one.
Hmm.
So it looks scary, it sounds scary, but when it becomes the norm, when everybody else is doing, the whole world has adapted to future of work, then we are all fine with it.
Hmm.
Jobs, Muhammad, is just 200 years old. When did this 9 to 5 jobs, corporate jobs came in? Just 200 or a little over 200 years old. We were all on
Hmm.
all through our human evolution. Okay. In fact, we our overarching guiding principle for IDOS is we call it life 4.0. Okay. In
Okay.
life 4.0 in human evolution, we were all hunter gatherers. We woke up with the sun, hunted for food, ate and slept. Very primitive life. In life 2.0, we move near water bodies. Okay, wherever water bodies existed, mostly relying on agriculture and some small scale industries, cattle, agriculture, and stuff. In Life 3.0, we moved wherever jobs existed, opportunities existed. This is when Industrial Revolution came, introduced this whole 9 to 5 jobs. Then came IT revolution. Then came Internet revolution, right? We believe we are
Hmm.
at the end of Life 3.0 and beginning of Life 4.0. Life
Hmm.
4.0 is where we will roam around the world. You will be in Pune for a year, come to Bangalore for a year, go to London for 2 years, go to New York for a year. It just doesn't matter. Location simply doesn't matter. What gives you full, because work will keep coming to you, just like Uber driver doesn't search for rides on the platform. They keep coming, he just has to say yes. That's what
Hmm.
will happen. Opportunities keep coming in terms of projects. I just have to say yes, and location doesn't matter. I keep around the world, roam around the world, right? Because I can from work from anywhere. That's what gives me
Hmm.
fulfillment. Knowing the world, roaming around the world, knowing different cultures, right? Embracing them, spending time, because I can work from anywhere. that
Hmm.
is that's what is the guiding
Interesting.
principle.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. So this is also getting this can also be termed as the proper utilization of a person's efficiency or a person's talent. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
Look, farthest corners of Africa will get the same opportunities as somebody living in Bay Area, New York, going
Yeah.
forward, because
Hmm.
technology allows us to do so, and we want to
Hmm.
make that possible through VDC, through
Hmm.
IDOS.
Hmm. So, it just boils down to the fact that how much can you work and how efficiently can you deliver your work.
Yeah.
It's
And when do
completely
you
done.
want to work? When do
Yeah.
you want to work, and what you want to work? How long you want to work?
Hmm. Got it. Got it. Got it. Nice. So, so enough of this VDCs concept. I believe we all are very much aware about this through what you explained right now. So, I want to know that you had such an amazing job track throughout your career, right? As you told, you work for Dell, then you work for WBP, then you work for 42 Hertz, which is now a part of Cisco, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So, and from 42 Hertz, you get the idea of IDOS, right? So, why did you, what, so actually, what inspired you to start your own company? You told how you got the idea, but what inspired you to leave that lavish life behind and start and struggle to make your own enterprise? And why do you chose to focus on AI only?
So, at least in my case, Mohammed,
Hmm.
entrepreneurship actually took longer for me to pursue full time. The
Okay.
surprise element is not quitting the job. The surprise element is why did it take so long for me to quit the job?
Mm-hmm.
Because if everything went well, I should have quit in 2010 or
Mm-hmm.
little before that also. Because
Mm-hmm.
20 plus years I had been an aspiring entrepreneur since my Hexaware days. Since 2000 and 2001, I had been waiting for this moment. It just took so long. So the question is not living lavish life. This has been my dream. Now my
Okay.
dream came. At some point, I took, yes, Microsoft gave me an opportunity. It kind of gave me confidence that yes, it can be done. Right. So that's answered. AI is in our opinion, we knew future of work is our core theme. Okay, where the world is headed, like 4.0. That is,
Mm-hmm.
AI enables us to do so. Okay, we are not an AI agent like everybody else is building a lot of AI agents. We are not an AI
Mm-hmm.
agent. We are a platform where AI is at the central, the core of the platform,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, for example, let's say you go to Google, it's a search platform. Now they are leveraging AI because it enables them to do a better search or give better
Right.
results. We are like that. We are a future of our platform where AI is the core. We are not an AI.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
That answers your question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you have a concept where you have introduced AI to, optimize or enhance the functioning of that process, right?
Correct.
And not just solely relying on AI to build a process or build an
Yeah,
execution. Hmm.
correct.
Correct. So, as you told that you always had that entrepreneurial mindset since the start of your career, and you always wanted to pursue that. But I would like to ask, when you pursued the executive courses at IIM Bangalore and ISB, so what what the personality changes that you have derived from those courses?
I'll
Can you
answer.
please tell that? Yeah.
Yeah, I will. And in fact, I'll also add one more angle to it. Okay, when I
Yeah.
answer,
Mm-hmm.
one of the greatest advantages going to IIMs, ISBs, or even IITs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how do they differentiate from
Mm-hmm.
universities like such as Harvard, MITs, and different universities in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
More than the course content itself, it is the people that you meet, right? In fact, I
Mm-hmm.
just learned from Kevin O'Leary, I think one of the Shark Tank people. He
Yeah.
posted 1 week or 10 days back on LinkedIn that it's
Mm-hmm.
not what I learned in my college. In fact, I completely forgot what I learned. I don't even know if I
Mm-hmm.
ever learned anything. It is the people who I met in engineering.
Okay.
That's what mattered to me. That's what he said, and that is 100% true. It is the kind of people that you meet, because that you learn more from your peer group than what course. Of course you will learn from course, of course you will learn the course content, which I did. But it is, you meet a lot of bright people, and very, from varied backgrounds, very rich background, and you get into that alumni, that network. That's what enriches your, the whole aspect of your career. That's what happened to
Mm-hmm.
me when I am ISB. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that I went to US to, when my kid was getting admitted to Texas A&M University, again well-renowned university in the US. Uh, what I saw my kid before leaving India, and one day, just the day one itself, he was a completely different kid. And not just him, everybody else. On day one, they were looking for opportunity to work on the side as a part-time job. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
in research lab to work in the different labs and whatnot, right? They're complete, and you look the same kids in engineering colleges here, they're just take life so easily, not very varied backgrounds, but you go there, you get people from Europe, people from Asia, people from China, people from India, people from Africa, Mexico, Canada. That gives you a completely different perspective of life. And that's why I realized that when I dropped my kid there and came back, they're more ready for the job, for the industry, for the market when they're out of college, the kids are back in India. And right after I came back, I through my network, I went and met few union ministers at the center to propose that we need to introduce mandatory internships in engineering colleges, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what's making the whole difference. They need to work, and I wanted Ashwini Vaishnav or those people to put a word to the industry that every company should open up X number of internships, and they can work from wherever they are, from their engineering colleges, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what gives them that experience of working real time projects even before they leave the college, because communication and that confidence is what is lacking even after leaving the college. And luckily, Narendra Modi recently introduced mandatory internship, nothing to do with what I went and requested, right? And there are so many internships opportunities. There is a platform they introduced. I think that is the right step. This is the
Mm-hmm.
difference between US universities and us. That's why the students, I mean, my son has completed 2 years now and 2 more years left. He's a completely, I mean, I can see the difference between the kids here and kids there, right? A different
Mm-hmm.
person altogether, because he's been working for 2 years already in the research lab,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to
Mm-hmm.
kids here, only they will only try to do a job project in the last semester, again for the sake of, because they have to do a project. They go to institutions, give me a project. In fact, sometimes they pay back to the institution, allowing them to do the project. That's not the way. That is not the way. The two things: real time experience and meeting people from different backgrounds, different experience levels, different cultures. That's what makes a lot of difference. That's
Mm-hmm.
A and B suffer, because the brightest minds go there. Necessarily only the course curriculum, which is of course is very rich. I agree, but that's what the differentiating factor is: who you meet, your alumni network, right? The
Mm-hmm.
key. That's what made a lot of difference for me.
Hmm. Interesting. As you brought this point of the abroad students or specifically US students into industry versus the Indian students into industry, what I believe is that uh, we as Indian students, we believe that only the course or the curriculum taught at the engineering college is what we should imbibe at, and we after we learn all these concepts, we'll one company will come to our campus, they'll recruit us, and then we'll work accordingly according to what they will ask us to do. On the other hand, US students are trying to expand their horizons out in different streams. They are trying to do some research, and that working culture, that networking culture is the part of the survival out there. They're not just working for their curriculum, they're working out for the survival. that
Yeah,
that is why they're getting that that charismatic character change and that adoption in their character. Yeah.
absolutely. Spot on. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's take this scenario. If someone younger comes to you and he or she asks you that okay, I want to pursue a career in business administration. So would you recommend him or her an IM or a top business school from uh, any other outer abroad like Harvard or something? What would you advise and why?
Given a choice, I would ask them to recommend them to travel and go. study somewhere else if they can
Okay.
afford. Absolutely.
Okay.
Not because IIM is lesser, because they're world renowned, they're top universities, purely
Mm-hmm.
because you spent enough time here. You know this
Mm-hmm.
culture, you've spoken to these people, you learned. Go there and learn a lot more, because you learn a lot more from different cultures, different set of people than the
Mm-hmm.
curriculum.
Hmm. So just to bring a cultural shift into your life, you should definitely go out and explore how they are thinking, how they are approaching a problem statement, and adapt and at least try that out.
So, Mohammed, one is once we go there, okay,
Mm-hmm.
start opening up. Nothing will
Mm-hmm.
come to you into your lap, which is what we
Mm-hmm.
expect when we are at home. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
coming to us to our table, including
Mm-hmm.
food. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
gone. Once you are there, you rightly said it's a survival instinct. You need to figure out how to survive. Okay, and you
Mm-hmm.
will start working,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because everybody else is working, and even their teaching methodology is completely different. There is no ready-made answers anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They will just give the concept. People, kids have to research and submit those papers, and not our typical question answer and get the marks. That completely different teaching methodology. That is why when we learn, let's say thermodynamics or aerodynamics, we know what is the right answer, and we answer, and we get the marks. And they will understand the concept, and they will build aeroplanes. They'll come out with AC, they'll come out with fridge, they'll come out with a computer, and that's why most, because they understand the concept, they find the gap, they come out with a product or a service. We answer and we work for them. We get the marks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that, if that needs to change, we need to. It's a good, see, wherever there is something good, we need to adapt, and that
Definitely.
there is something good out there, and we need to. Our universities need to adapt, and if there is a chance and if there is a choice, if kids can go there, I highly recommend to go there and study.
Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. So, I want to ask, what key lessons have you learned from business schools or throughout, let's say, throughout your entrepreneurial journey, that you believe professionals should definitely apply into their day-to-day work life out there?
Okay, so I picked those specific areas where I wanted to, like organizational leadership and change
Okay.
management
Mm-hmm.
and digital transformation, which was also suitable for the job I was doing at Dell, and I knew that they were going to help me in my
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurial journey, right? So
Mm-hmm.
uh, people going to business schools, they need to be clear what they are going for. Not just
Okay.
I want to do MBA because everybody else is doing MBA. I want to do MBA so that I'll be highly paid right after college. If that is the aspiration, then I don't have anything to say. Just go and do it. But if there is a specific aspiration, see how it is going to serve it.
Mm-hmm.
Because today I'm confidently saying that any business you build, Mohammed, will be equivalent to 1,000 MBAs. It's not a joke to build business from scratch, right? You will hire
Mm-hmm.
MBAs from ISBs, IMBs very soon. I get mails from IIMB, not IIMB, IIMs, asking me to recruit from their colleges. I keep getting every year, right? Request me to come for campus interviews, right? It's not a joke. So the point I'm making is, are you interested in pursuing a job and in business administration? So you pursue MBA, go do it. Or are you interested in becoming an entrepreneur, build a business? Then I would recommend that you talk to entrepreneurs more. Then figure out if an MBA will help you. Then go do it. MBA, right major, right minor. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, for example, my kid, everybody can guess that, hey, if your kid is going to college, I'm sure he is pursuing an AI or something, right? No, my kid is doing oceanography. We sat together and thought, hey, this is an area untapped, unexplored, and we can do a lot more by tapping into it and help the world, right? 90% of oceans are still untapped, unexplored, right? We may know more what is on Mars, but we don't know what is underneath us. So we took a risky bet, and he's doing our BS in oceanography now. We
Interesting.
need
Very interesting.
clarity what we want to do in life. Then uh, uh, picking a degree becomes very no-brainer, right? So
Mm-hmm. Right. Definitely. So, see, I just had this question right now. Why do many people pursue MBA from top institutes or top business schools like IIMs, and they still target to secure a high paying job rather than going for a business? Why is that mindset between us?
That is still, that's what they have seen all over their life, and that's what their
Okay.
parents have been saying from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and again, I don't come from a, great college background, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I ignore job, okay, of course they'll get high paying job because they're on the highway now. Out of IIMBs, ISBs, or even Harvard's, I mean, you are on the highway. Even if you pursue, you get an idea, okay, after MBA or during MBA, chances of you getting funding versus chance of me getting funding are completely different.
Right.
Just looking at your IIM degree or a good university in the US, they're ready to bet on you. And
Mm.
I was wondering why, but I got an answer recently, couple of years back. You know why people bet on IITs and IIMs even for funding? Do you know?
No.
Okay, so we dig deeper, right? What
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
got answer is, people getting into IITs and IMBs, they really, really worked very hard to get there.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
according to investors, even if the idea doesn't work,
Mm-hmm.
one, if the idea is right, these kids are, they can work very hard to make it successful. They know what kind of efforts are required, and they're willing to put that effort because they've been putting that effort to get into IITs and IMs. Okay,
Mm.
and they can do
Mm.
so even in the building that business. Even if idea fails, they know how to pivot, how to go
Mm.
back to whiteboard and again put that effort to make it successful. That's why investors are willing to fund these guys, because hard work or figuring out problem solving is they have done it all through their life. So
Mm-hmm.
either ways, whether to get a good paying job or even if they have an idea to go for funding, these are the right vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Got it. Got it. So, so since we all can see that AI is advancing very quickly these days, and we have so many concepts of AI wandering around all over internet. AI is into video editing. AI is into AI. You name it, AI is there. It's just like that these days.
It's
So,
electricity.
yeah.
It's a, electricity or internet. It's almost synonymous at that
Yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So, do you still believe that in this era, traditional management roles can survive, or traditional management roles are valid?
Muhammad, honestly, you will talk to 1,000 people, you may get 1,000 different opinions, and you may
Mm-hmm.
get one first
Mm-hmm.
opinion from me. Nobody knows the answer. We all have
Okay.
opinions now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how the world is shaping up, whether this job will go away, that job will stay back, whether mid level management will completely be gone away. Nobody knows. Only thing we can do is learn AI, adopt. That's the only thing we can say right now, because unless we
Mm-hmm.
can do a time travel and go to 2050 and see what is happening and come back and tell people what to do, nobody
Mm-hmm.
knows. Because who
Mm-hmm.
knows, 5 years, 10 years down the line, we may say, have you seen Black Mirror? Have you
Yeah,
seen?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
In one of the episodes in Black Mirror, her husband comes back. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in one of the episodes, and after 2 3 days he gets bored. You don't have any emotion. Okay, you don't
Mm-hmm.
get angry at me, you don't scold me. It's extremely difficult for me to live like this. We
Right.
may think like that about AI very soon, because today we are thinking productivity, productivity, productivity. AI doesn't shout at us, a machine doesn't shout, doesn't fall sick, doesn't ask for pay rise, right? There is no weekend, it doesn't ask for long vacation, right? There are so many. But very soon we may realize that, man, this is just not life. And we may say, this get rid of. I want human touch. We don't know. We don't know.
Uh,
We may reach the point where we just get rid of all the AI machines and get back to our roots. We don't know. All that we can say today is adapt to the AI evolution,
mm,
evolution, so that you are not left out. you're not left behind.
Hmm.
Nobody knows whether my job, your job will stay after 5 years, or we become even more powerful, or we go back.
Hmm.
We don't know. We really don't know. I don't know. We all have opinions. Everybody has opinion today. Nobody knows.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, since we are at this point, what advice would you like to give to the people who are not currently familiar or involved with AI? Uh, what are they missing out right now, and what risks do they have to face in the near future uh, due to AI?
So just like everybody learned internet, even
Hmm.
my dad, okay, would have
Hmm.
gotten. He's watching YouTube videos. He's 82,
Hmm.
83 now. Okay,
Hmm.
lot of people around the globe who never had to even worry about internet or those aspects now know what internet can enable in their lives also, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
He can switch on and start doing meditation also, which was not possible. We had to go to a meditation teacher to do meditation. After learning, we had to do on our own. Now I can start an app and run meditation music and then do meditation. Watch
Hmm.
YouTube videos, watch some movies that I could never watch in TV or anywhere, right? So internet enables certain aspects. AI also will do the same.
Hmm.
He probably has some ideas who could never give a shape to those ideas. He could give at this age. So AI will enable, like you said, video editing. There are many things AI will enable us. Just like phones enabled taking photos wherever we could go without camera. We had to carry camera in the past, right?
Yeah.
So AI will also enable everybody, whether they like it or not, will be AI enabled. To what
Hmm.
extent they will be AI enabled, how they will leverage the AI technology to their advantage is up to an individual's choice. Okay,
Hmm.
so we can't survive with Google or ChatGPT today, right? And we can't survive without smartphone today. Similarly, we will not be able to survive without AI enabled phone, without AI enabled search, whatnot, right? But here is what I will tell, right, to the new generation: it's not a choice. It's not a choice. Learning English in India is not a choice. If you have to get into career, we have to learn English,
Right.
right? We can't say that a Japanese did not learn English, Germany people did not learn, France people did not learn. Look, they are giving work to us, right? We are service providers. Similarly, for us to continue to be a service and economy, because 50 to almost 60% of our GDP is service based. Back in the days, it was agriculture. Now it is 60% of our GDP is service. It will continue to be the so, even though we will become manufacturing enabled country or not. Still, we will be a
Hmm.
service based economy, right? To provide this many jobs, this much work, no more jobs. It will still be services, and even to build products, there is no choice. Just like we learn English, we have to learn AI. The suggestion or advice I would give to is you AI cannot be Greek or Latin for you. AI is as much as English for you. If you say that you know English, you better know AI in your own area, right? So
Right.
you're in a creative field, know the AI tools in your creative field. If you're in programming field, know the AI tools that are Cursor or Windsurf, whatever, right? Or Canva if you're in creative work. You have to know. There is no other way. There is no choice. Time
Hmm.
will tell. Like I said, we all have opinions. Only time will tell where we are headed. Nobody knows. But we must learn.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, I believe this brings us to the end of our conversation. Thank you so much, Krishna. This was actually a very information packed, knowledge packed conversation that we had. You taught us so many things out here about VDCs, about the future of AI, about how people should, build their perspective towards AI. We learned a lot from this conversation. Thank you so much for being on the show. Few words if you like to tell to our audience before we conclude this conversation.
I think just be open minded. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace the change. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we are at a seismic point in the world, in the universe today, that anything is possible, anything could
Mm-hmm.
happen. And don't be
Mm-hmm.
surprised. Surprise is the norm, right? Ambiguity is the new clarity. Okay. So just be ready for anything and embrace the change because nobody knows what's going to happen. So
Great,
that's
great.
what I would advise myself, and
Mm-hmm.
also. and my family members, my kids, also everybody out there. Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
I believe we'll see you in our future episodes or future collaborations in the AI Bros Show. And uh, all the very best for IDOS for the VDC concept. This is actually very amazing thing, very amazing problem statement that you're targeting, and I hope this will definitely bring benefit to the masses. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohammed, for having me on the show. Really, really good one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Same here.